This is how Cambid, one of Halo's best speedrunners, beat Halo's first level, the Pillar of Autumn, in 3 minutes 18 seconds on Legendary. The run starts with Cambid immediately jumping backwards into the cryopod and performing a trick known as Cryo Bump. This trick involves jumping backwards into the cryopod as soon as the cutscene ends, then looking at this specific point before jumping and moving forward at the same time. This causes an upwards teleportation into the rafters of the cryo room. Now, it's important to know that this trick only has a 1 out of 3 chance of teleporting correctly. Moving through the ceiling, Cambid walks on very specific spots to not fall through the floor and proceeds to do an extended version of the normal cryo bump lineup that he developed himself, with the normal lineup having the player walk up to the beginning of this door-like structure. Instead, Cambid walks to the end of the door-like structure, lines up his crosshair at this specific point, and jumps up and to the right, landing on a new hallway before walking and lining his crosshair up perfectly before jumping forward. This specific lineup allows him to teleport right next to the command center. He then enters the loading trigger and backs up, saving a few seconds. Next, he walks away immediately from Captain Keyes as soon as he's able to skip a trigger to both spawn the first grunts and give him the pistol. Most of the level after this is Cambid running through the level, running past most enemies, throwing grenades where he needs to until he reaches this energy shield, breaking it to set up a teleport called Shield Bump, only after a very tense moment with this elite, of course. This shield bump and the out of bounds area after it is a specific trick known as the stair skip. And once again, he walks on a very specific path and hits specific loading zones before doing a faster version of the stair skip to save around 30 seconds of running and skipping a trigger that would normally spawn enemies in this hallway. Which is important because in full path, this hallway is a very stressful combat encounter that involves throwing plasmas and running for your life. He then spends the next 43 seconds of his run expertly running through the ship and firing charged plasma pistol shots. My favorite part being this poor grunt in the air ducts, who had no idea what was coming to him. And finally, he throws plasma and fragmentation grenades in precise locations in this final combat area to kill the necessary enemies and load up the end trigger, beating the Pillar of Autumn in 3 minutes and 18 seconds.